I just retired. Where do I start withdrawing money from first? This is a common but absolutely critical question each pre and post retiree needs to answer continuously throughout their retirement. For many pre retirees, the thought of retirement seems relatively simple. Hey, when I retire, I'm going to have a pension. I'm probably going to get some sort of social security check. I think I'm going to work part time for a couple years after I retire just for something to do. And then to fill the gap of those income sources and what I need to live off of, I'm just going to withdraw money from the retirement accounts I've been saving into for the last 35 to 40 years. And that equation can be as simple as that, where pension decisions are pretty simple and irrevocable once you make them. Social Security, once you make that decision, you don't have to worry about updating it or changing it throughout the remainder of your retirement. And from a part time income standpoint, you have the ability to work when you want and maybe shut it down when you're ready to completely retire. However, the final piece of that equation, which is I am going to supplement all of those income sources with withdrawals from my retirement savings accounts, gets much more complicated and there is a lot more at stake. So, creating the proper withdrawal strategy and understanding where you're going to take money from first can be the difference from retirement doom to a successful, long term, confident, stress free retirement. Hi, my name is Derek Delaney. I'm a certified financial planner, and this is the type of work I do for my clients for a living. So let's talk about why retirement withdrawals are so important, and more importantly than that, why retirement withdrawal strategies are so important for pre-retirees and newly retiree individuals. The first reason why is having an appropriate retirement withdrawal strategy, i.e., knowing where you're going to withdraw money from first in retirement, is important because it sets the table for all the other retirement decisions you're going to want to make. For many people, your retirement withdrawal strategy will dictate how your investment portfolio is managed. Or if you know you have an IRA account and that's where you're going to pull money from first in retirement, maybe that IRA will be invested a little bit more conservatively or differently than the other investment assets you have, because you know that that is going to be the resource you're going to tap first. So you can't afford to be more aggressive with that money, because the last thing you want to do is withdraw dollars from that account when investment markets are down and experience significant losses in that money in a short period of time, which a lot of people refer to as sequence of return risk. The second thing is it's going to give you a better idea of how you should manage, not from an investment standpoint, but just the overall management of those accounts that you plan on withdrawing from first. And the management of that could be setting it up as a bucket strategy from a distribution standpoint, or maybe you are on the side of doing a systematic rebalance. Regardless of what it is, when you're going to withdraw money from any account will dictate how aggressive you are with those investment assets and the specific distribution strategy you want to set up on those individual accounts. The second reason why it's so important to have a withdrawal strategy and understanding where you're going to withdraw money from first is it creates a game plan of how you are going to go about lowering your lifetime tax bill. Let me show you an example. So in this example, we have Mike and Sarah. Mike and Sarah are projected to retire with about $1.8 million. Well, for the entirety of their working life, Mike and Sarah were told to save money inside each of their 401ks, take the match, and worry about the tax consequences later, which is exactly what they've done. So they have amassed a significant amount of money in each of their 401ks. But now they are left with a big problem, where 100% of their retirement savings right now lies in those tax-deferred accounts, which means when it comes time to withdraw that money in retirement, each dollar they withdraw is going to be subject to ordinary income tax, and that tax rates will be dependent on how much they withdraw in a year and what specific tax rates are set in law that year as well, which is something we can't control. So you could say, hey, when you retire, you're going to withdraw money, and if tax rates don't change, you're going to be in this specific tax bracket. But if Congress changes tax laws 5, 10, 15 years from now, you could see yourself in a much higher or lower tax rate at some point in your future retirement, even if you're withdrawing the same amount of money. We also assume that Mike and Sarah in this situation are going to start their Social Security at age 70. And you can see here, given the specific withdrawal strategy they're going to implement, meaning where they're going to withdraw their money first, will dictate or will be dictated by the tax strategy they plan to implement when they start retirement. So in this example, if Mike and Sarah figure out, hey, if we want to fill up the 22% federal tax bracket every single year in retirement, that will produce the biggest net legacy for us long term compared to any other withdrawal option. Well, that's great if they know that they're going to fill up that 22% tax bracket first. That means the significant portion of their retirement withdrawals will obviously still have to be from their 401ks, but then they know that converting any room they have in that 22% tax bracket to fill up that 22% bracket via Roth conversions is going to be an important strategy that they will want to implement. And the reason why is when they finally hit retirement in 2039, you could see here that, or in 2029, you could see here that they will need approximately $196,000 in year one to satisfy their retirement lifestyle goals. And a little bit of that will be other taxable income, which is a small part-time work. They'll have a little bit of post-tax money from CDs that they could spend, but then a large portion of their retirement strategy or their retirement withdrawals will come from those 401ks, and adding all of those income sources up in year one will get them to their desired retirement income goal, which will get them to the top quarter of that 22% bracket, which means if we want to fill it up, they will have room in year one of retirement to make a $45,220 Roth conversion. And that becomes extremely important because now they understand that if other retirement assets get added on, like taxable investment accounts, those dollars could be spent to create a bigger Roth conversion opportunity in retirement up to that 22% bracket, or any future taxable money they save up until retirement or in retirement could be used to pay the tax due on the conversion up to that 22% bracket. And the third reason why understanding what your retirement withdrawal strategy is and where you should pull money from first is that it's going to help you with all of those other specific timing questions. If you remember, Mike and Sarah have the goal of turning on Social Security at age 70. But what if they want to turn on Social Security at age 62 instead? Will that change where they should start withdrawing money from first? And you can see here, if they turn on Social Security right away in 2029, in addition to the other taxable income sources they're going to have here additional taxable Social Security they're going to have to worry about, which means they're going to be forced to withdraw less from their 401ks, which means that withdrawing less from their 401ks is going to create bigger Roth conversion opportunities earlier on in retirement because they're going to have more room left to fill up that 22% bracket. So that might allow them to think, hey, I want to turn on Social Security earlier because it's going to free up more of room in that 22% bracket, which means I'm going to be able to convert more, which ultimately is going to provide me with a much bigger tax benefit, correct? And what we can do here is actually compare the two. Turning on Social Security at age 62 compared to turning on Social Security at age 70. And if we feel that filling up the 22% bracket is what's best for each of these, you can actually see here that starting Social Security at age 62 compared to starting it at 70, even if we're targeting Roth conversions up to the 22% bracket for each, starting Social Security at age 62 will actually lower their net legacy present value total dollar amount by almost $312,000 compared to starting Social Security at age 70 and targeting that same 22% federal income tax bracket with Roth conversions in retirement. So when it comes to answering the question of where do I start to withdraw money first in retirement, the first thing you're going to do is one, understand what retirement income sources you're going to have in retirement. Will you have pension? Will you have Social Security? And will you have some sort of part-time income work or any sort of annuity income or anything like that? We call those guaranteed income sources. Once you understand what guaranteed income sources you have, you'll then be able to determine what your desired income level is in retirement, how much of that desired income level is going to be accomplished with those guaranteed income sources, and what gap income levels are left that you'll need to fill via withdrawing money from those retirement savings accounts like 401ks. And once you have that perspective in place, you can start running different projections that show, hey, if I turn on Social Security at this age compared to this age, maybe it will change the withdrawal strategy I have from a tax planning standpoint, which will then completely change where I'm going to start withdrawing money from first in retirement. Or you could take that scenario and then change what your pension is going to be. Or you could take those scenarios and then start integrating different lengths of time you feel you're going to want to work part-time in retirement. And you can start slicing and dicing those different pieces of the retirement planning puzzle to figure out which option, considering all that information, is truly what's best for you, given your long-term income goals and the tax planning goals you have in retirement as well. If this sounds like something that could be valuable to you in your future retirement, feel free to schedule a complimentary consultation with me, and I'd be happy to talk you through more of the options and how my firm helps our clients plan these specific scenarios and how we help our clients iterate and monitor along the way to make sure they are continuously doing what's best for them when it comes to their specific retirement distribution strategy. So if that's a conversation you want to have, click the link below, schedule your free consultation, and I'd be happy to explain more how that specific process works, specifically within your economic and future retirement context. Until that future conversation, my name is Derek Delaney. Happy retirement planning.